So let's get to it. We are going to talk about starting direct mail to personalize those follow-ups and generate leads using LionDesk, which is the CRM you guys all use. And this is a CRM that we're involved with because they have an open API, which means that the team at LionDesk, David Anderson, he has this CRM for you guys, and he has said, let us make it as easy as possible for other applications to plug right into it so that as you're using LionDesk, you can seamlessly bring along a second tool and use it almost at the same time. So that's kind of what we're doing here. And all these masterclasses are basically because LionDesk has recently launched this thing called the LionDesk Marketplace. So that is the one-stop shop for features, services, and integrations in LionDesk. They have some things you can turn on for your LionDesk account, like Lead Assist. You can hop into the Facebook ad portal, which is brand new. It's super slick. I like it a lot better than just making ads straight through Facebook. It makes it way easier. It's a lot clearer. And then there's also the Done For You concierge service, which is if you are in LionDesk and you've just decided, you know what, I just want somebody to get this up and running for me. I just want somebody to set it up and get me to a place where I can hop in and do work. Do that concierge service and they'll get it set up for you. And then you can just hop into a, basically a finished house and live your life. That's kind of how that works. Instead of having to arrange and decorate and furnish it, you just hop into a furnished house and go ahead. So that is the marketplace. It looks like Leslie Ann has dropped that link in there. But if you want, and let me show you this. If you want to see the marketplace, once we're out of this webinar, go to LionDesk, and then there is this member area button right here where you normally log in. And instead of signing in, here is the marketplace link. So you can click on this, and you can see all the integrations for LionDesk. We've built quite a few: Google Sheets, MailChimp, Dotloop, BrokerMint. We've built this QuantumDigital one, but it's actually so new, so fresh that they are still working on getting it on this marketplace. So you'll see that here, I believe, in a couple of days or so. But in the meantime, you can still get it. We'll show you exactly how to get it, and it'll be in the marketplace very shortly. All right, and then the last thing, let me just kind of, now that you know why you're here, what we're doing here, let me just kind of introduce myself, and then we're going to introduce Matt and kind of hear all about QuantumDigital. So my name is Gabe. I am with API Nation. And API Nation is a platform that works just with real estate tech, and we create integrations. So we know that you guys are out there working hard. You guys are some of the most innovative entrepreneurs out there, and you push the tech really hard. And you push it in ways that are different from other small businesses and entrepreneurs. So you guys, real estate agents, brokers, admins, the marketing team, transaction coordinators, you guys are all doing something a little bit different than a normal small business. And so you need a little bit different integration platform. And so that's what we provide. We know, we know how the transactions are going to flow through a normal tech stack. So we try and make sure the integrations are there as seamlessly as possible so you can build it out so those things flow. We got over 40 years of combined experience integrating tech from our leadership team, our CTO, our CEO. They've all done it specifically in real estate for quite a long time. And then just kind of our principles. We're definitely here to make sure that the apps help you make more money and save a lot more time. And we do believe that real estate agents and brokers and admins, in a lot of cases, you guys are real people. Yeah. You guys are out there looking to work with people. You probably didn't necessarily get into this to work with computers. So we make sure these computers do the computer work so that you can go do your people work. And we also kind of think this connecting apps should be simple. This kind of idea of 1 + 1 should equal 3. So we believe that LionDesk is great. QuantumDigital is great. When we connect them together, it actually makes something outstanding. So that's kind of where we're coming from here. And we are talking about this QuantumDigital sync here. And I'm going to turn it over to Matt. And he can, Matt, if you could just introduce yourself, kind of tell us a little bit about you and QuantumDigital, and then hit it, man. Just go for it. Let me stop sharing this.
Absolutely. Let's see. Am I screen sharing now?
Not quite.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, thank you for the that intro, Gabe. As I said, Matt Kemp from QuantumDigital here. QuantumDigital has been in the business of helping the individual realtor compete in their market for the past 30 years. And we were essentially built by realtors for realtors in the sense that there was some ways to pioneer through the just listed, just sold, the farming, all the things that we know to be common marketing ops today. Those were essentially pioneered by our founder Jim Damon, 33 years ago. So what we have done is been able to be really hyper focused on essentially getting listings for agents and assisting agents in being able to let people within their market know that they are the market leader, the market expert, and kind of that trusted source for everything real estate oriented.
Hey,
So
Matt, real quick, it looks like Zoom has lost the screen share here. Could you give it another shot?
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Technical difficulties here. Sorry, guys.
No, not at all.
I'm actually. So are you not seeing anything?
We see just kind of your name. But yeah, nothing quite. When you hit that shift, yep, go ahead.
Give me 1 second.
Cool. And then while we're kind of getting this figured out, QuantumDigital, I actually see a couple questions in here. Laura, what's that? Not quite yet. Could be on my side, but it doesn't look like it's showing up quite yet.
So yeah, that's
sometimes it gets me when there's cast desktop to versus or share like a desktop versus a window.
Right.
So a lot of times I'll just end up doing that desktop. And Laura was asking, there was a slide in here kind of erroneously that said it was $20 per integration. For this one, for QuantumDigital specifically, to connect these two apps is totally free. So we see a lot of value in being able to make this as easy as possible for you to go out there and do this kind of direct mail marketing. And so working with LionDesk and QuantumDigital together, we've actually made this one totally free so that you can just send all those contacts you have in LionDesk over into QuantumDigital, no problem. And I'll show you exactly how to do that and what that looks like here in a minute. But yeah, totally free to connect them. And then it'll just be, the price of the postcards that end up getting sent up. Oh, this looks good. There we go.
All right. So I'm going to unplug my second screen and hope for the best. All right. We sharing still?
It looks great.
All right. There we go. Thank you guys for bearing with me.
Not at all. Yeah.
Okay. As I said, we are, sorry, I think we're getting a little bit of feedback. Okay. No, we're good. So essentially our pillars of focus, kind of our essential value prop has been to be targeted, to be simple, and to be automated. So with that in mind, we've kind of focused on just listed, just sold, marketing executions, and farming over the past probably decade. So as new technology emerges, we're able to integrate that within all of our programs. So what you're getting is essentially the most up-to-date, most data-driven, and technologically savvy mail in the US. So given that, quick little overview of what we're going to run through, kind of the marketing reality of what QuantumDigital looks through and through the lens of direct mail on everything real estate. I'm going to give you a quick overview of the system and kind of not so much the product benefits and features, but the reasoning behind it. So we're essentially filtering in all best practices into our product already. but it'd be really great information for y'all to have, so that there might be a little bit of bleed over with other media channels that you're using, because we fully believe that we are not the only tool in your chest, but we're absolutely a necessary one. So we'll kind of go through the real estate sales funnel, kind of how we fit into there, into the larger picture. We're going to focus on how we use data-driven marketing and how we pass leads back to you. Kind of the anatomy of the card, the reason we do things. Obviously, we're going to touch on COVID-19 and then kind of look over some key takeaways. So as I said before, this is the real estate marketing reality that we see through the lens of direct mail. And as you can see, you have your three, we'll just say your three areas of focus, and they're all three kind of revolving around listings. So whenever you're prospecting, that's whenever you're trying to establish yourself in a new neighborhood, into a new market, any function of kind of starting off at the top of your lead funnel there. As you work through your sales cycle, you're going to start getting some just listed, just sold opportunities, and you're obviously going to want to promote those as well. And what we hear from a lot of agents that they don't continue to do is, once they've essentially cashed that check, or once they hit that that listing and that selling opportunity that's already passed, then there's not a lot of that follow-up. And then we also hear the same thing as if folks fall out of the lead funnel, they don't nurture them back in. So all of these operations, we've kind of assigned some of our flagship products to assist with each of these areas of focus. And again, everything is just going to be driven to get you those listings. And kind of the offshoot of that is going to be establishing yourself as a market expert in your area, definitely carving out more market share for you and your brokerage. There's a lot of secondary and tertiary benefits to all of these. But as I said before, farming is going to be your main prospecting tool. You're going to have to get out there into those prime neighborhoods, but also ones that may not be the $1 million listing on every corner. We'll kind of talk a little bit about what a primary neighborhood that you should focus on a little bit later. But again, just listed and sold, open house marketing, you need to let folks know that down the street, there are people that are interested in you as their real estate expert. So it's more so about promoting yourself within your area than more so just promoting that property. And then, of course, the networking aspect. Every single person that you've stayed in touch with, or every single person that you've touched, you need to stay in touch with them, because there's always going to be a chance for somebody to get nurtured back into that sales funnel.
I love that. Oh, sorry, just to hop in real quick. I love that graph is a circle, because it is kind of just, it's kind of a compounding thing. As you continue to prospect, you market, you get those listings, then you network, and you keep following up with it, and it just kind of builds and builds and builds. Then your contact list, your lead list, just continues to grow and compound that way. I love that. That's great. And yeah, guys, if you have any questions about any of the terms being used, go ahead and throw them out. We're here to figure that out.
For sure. And this is also a good snapshot of, no matter where you are in the season, or where you are in your career, or where you are in the market, ideally you should be doing all three of these things all at any given time. It's not something like this next slide. It looks a little bit more linear look at the sales cycle. You're going to farm until you get a few listings, and then you're going to promote those listings, and then you're going to try and stay in touch with some folks. I mean, no, you should always be farming. You need to be promoting yourself as that just listed, or that listing and that selling house expert in your area, and then constantly stay in touch with everybody that you've touched before. So this is just a really great snapshot of all of these things are going to be driven into each other and revolving around those listings. But again, like I said, here's a little bit more linear look at it. So we do have monthly direct mail for farming and prospecting. That's what we offer for that farming segment. We have automated just listed and just sold ads, just listed and just sold and open house Facebook ads and postcards. And then we also have a really great client follow-up all of these things are very, very automated, very simple, so that you can primarily use your time for what is going to make you money. So that's kind of one of our inherently best practices is find something automated, find something simple that you just click, and then you are ready to go. All right, so you would think that everybody knows the sales funnel, but this is just what QuantumDigital assesses the sales funnel to be. Where we would be is somewhere probably on the top of the funnel. That's where that farming operations is going to really start driving in people into the top of your funnel there. Now, again, like we said, we're not the only folks that help you with top of funnel stuff, but we work in tandem with all of these other options for you. And really what you're able to do is you may notice that some of these things may be a little bit more technical, or they may be a little bit more time consuming. That's where kind of our best practice that we incorporate is making sure that you spend just a few minutes out of your month or out of your year to handle all of your mailing executions. But whenever you're talking about just getting folks into that awareness funnel, we can work in tandem with your web ads, with your newspaper ads, your Google AdWords search. As folks work through, they're going to show a little bit of interest. Whenever I say website on here, we offer digital assets, website redirects, and things like that. So kind of one of an additional best practice would be have a lead gen opportunity there on everything that you do, because something as simple as a QR code or a lead capturing URL, that could be the difference between just following up with somebody because you have that lead, and then them choosing you to list their home and just missing that opportunity altogether. So whenever it comes to just thinking about best practices, I mean, we offer a QR code and a personalized URL on just about everything that comes out of our shop. And it's not any additional cost. We kind of just bake it into our product as well. So data-driven lead gen, anything that like the tools are out there for sure. QuantumDigital obviously offers them. You should absolutely use us. But if you don't, just keep that in mind that there's lead gen capabilities out there in just about every aspect and every media channel.
The QR codes that come on the flyers, the agents will actually tell you guys where you guys want those to go, or is that go to a QuantumDigital page, or where does this go?
So we have a few different options now with the just listed and just sold. That's going to redirect to a property details page. So what we are is integrated with every single MLS across the country, and we're able to link your QuantumDigital account to your MLS email. And then anytime that you post a listing or a listing turns from listed to sold, we'll send you an email, and it will say, congratulations on your listing. Would you like to promote this with 100 postcards or 50 cards or whatever your default is? And you just click order now, and then we will fire off 100 cards or whatever your default is around that listing location. We're going to pull in the primary photo from the MLS, and the user, whenever they engage with that card, I'll show you an example here shortly, but user will engage with that card, get sent to a property details page, a web page, but because that QR code is unique to that address, you'll get an email saying Matt Kemp from 123 Main Street just engaged with your card. So right there, that's just very simple lead gen and very simple retargeting, and that's a lead that's going to get emailed to you for you to follow up, in real time.
That's really cool.
I love that, Matt. Yeah. It's like a smart card.
Absolutely.
It's great. That's like the second or third generation of postcards for real estate agents. This is fabulous.
Absolutely. So what we're able to do here is kind of look at that secondary funnel as well. So let's say you have somebody who contacts you or kind of fills out a lead form on a Facebook page or DMs you or whatever the case is, and they kind of fall out of there. You lose contact with them. a worldwide pandemic hits and they don't feel like buying, whatever the reasoning is, we have this secondary funnel that you're able to nurture them back in. They're able to, whether it be a referral or just you pulling them back into that lead funnel, you're able to still, just with a very, very small investment in your marketing, which is going to really provide you with a solid ROI. So as you can see, the underlying parts is kind of where we fall into all of this. You send out your postcards, they're going to hit a website, you're going to get that lead information, you give them a call, they're now a client. So that's just one channel for consumer purchase pathway. And we're able to provide that for you, all baked in, as I said, very data driven. So here is just a similar look at what we just covered, but kind of where our tools fall in here. The prospecting, that's going to be your farming, and that's, like I said, very top of funnel. You're just making people aware of who you are, what's your product and service. So again, it's really important to have those lead gen capabilities, because the more layers you add in this funnel for somebody to work through to get to you, it makes it much more likely for them to fall out of that funnel at the top end. So if you hear me say keep your funnel wide and keep your funnel short, that means that you want to cast the widest net possible, but you also don't want to give the user so many steps to get through just to be your client. So that's kind of where all it takes is a scan of a QR code for them. You get that lead information emailed to you in real time. The user is going to get kind of that information that they want on the front end. How much is this house selling for? Or if it's a farming card, redirecting them to a market snapshot. So the user is going to have that great user experience. And then you're going to get that lead in real time. But this is also a great look at, just because somebody doesn't want to buy now doesn't mean they won't want to buy ever. Or if somebody just doesn't want to sell right now, it doesn't mean that they're not going to want to sell in 6 months, 9 months, next year. So again, as I said, this is a really pivotal marketing execution with a really, really high ROI. So depending on the complexity and the thickness and all the different parts of our card, essentially you're looking at 83 cents per card. So if you're sending out 100 cards a month, once a quarter, I mean, if you get one listing from that, we're sitting there looking at a 10 to 20 ROI just on this one marketing execution that you set up for about 2 or 3 minutes at the start of the year, and you don't have to worry about it for the next 12 months. So any questions on that? I know I just did a whole lot of words about sales funnel, but.
No, I think that's great. I think, sales funnel, I do marketing all the time, and every so often I get to sit on a presentation like this and I'm like, oh yeah, that is like, I can see like some gaps in my current practices here where, either I'm losing some contact, I'm not working hard enough on awareness or, interest. It's definitely great to be kind of reminded of the basics for sure. It looks like there were a couple questions. Anthony, he is working with lenders, and he's with a multi-state, it's a call center for a mortgage company. They work multi-state. Is there a way for them to use kind of this system at all?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I'll touch on here shortly is kind of our 2 and 3 flagship products. One of them, the Just Listed and Just Sold, it's very automated. It's very connected to the MLS. That probably wouldn't be able to integrate with you, but the farming, there's tons of different options whenever you want to get to hyper local targeting, blazing through demographic filters. I mean, you can upload your list. You could use our list. I mean, that you have a lot of options whenever it comes to that farming lead gen.
Yeah, there's also kind of that nice follow-up thing where you just add a contact, somebody you just finished up with, and just schedule them out for, I believe it's like 1, 2, or 3 years worth of postcards, and just keep yourself top of mind easily, and
For
let's
sure.
just go out on schedule.
So there's two things that whenever I get to the sales funnel, that I'd say, two very true stories. Well, one, we came up with trying to figure out how to hack the sales funnel just like Amazon did, because I had an aha moment whenever I was buying spatulas or something like that. And I was in a hurry because I had a 3-year-old who was just needing all of my attention. So it was really advantageous for me to click that buy now button. Like it just completely moved me from awareness to purchase with the press of a button. And whenever I think of that, I was like, well, our just listed and just sold marketing ops are just that. We send you an email whenever you post a listing to the MLS, and then all you have to do is click order now. I mean, we'll already have all of the MLS information. We'll already have all the photos. I mean, we made it as easy as possible for folks that primarily don't want to sit there and spend hours on marketing for every single listing that they have or every home that they sell. So the second thing that I always like mentioning is whenever I bought my house 3 years ago, that was the last I ever heard from my agent. And I remember his first name, but I know he has a tricky sounding last name. And the 4 people that have asked me who my agent was, I couldn't remember his last name because he didn't spend any time or even a small bit of client follow-up to basically say, hey, I appreciate you being a client for me. If you have any interest in working with me again or giving me a referral, I would be happy to take on your friends and family's business. So that's just me being one person, one client, and 4 different people asked me who I used. Now I'm in the business of real estate training and marketing execution, so I do know some agents in Austin. However, I didn't send them to my agent. So just something as simple as you were talking about, a client follow-up campaign that we offer. It's $19.99, and you can touch somebody once every 3 months for 3 years. Wow. And it's just a very easy set it and forget it execution that you don't have to worry about it until 3.5 years later.
That's so nice. Yeah. Yeah. I love set it and forget it stuff. Just move on, focus on other things. Cool. And then one other thing I wanted to tackle before we move forward. Laura did ask that question. I misunderstood it. Is it $20 for all the apps or is it per app? Again, QuantumDigital to connect, totally free. So that one's totally free. The other apps we featured in these masterclasses are $20 per app when you connect it to LionDesk. But it is as much syncing within that integration. So as many pieces of data you want to send over, it's always going to be a flat 20 per app. But then again, QuantumDigital, totally free to connect and sync and do all those things. So just want to touch on that, and then we'll hop back in. Go for it.
Okay, yeah. It was just happened to be a coincidence that our client follow-up is $19.99. So yeah. So yes, we'll be free to connect to. But kind of the method behind our madness here with this data-driven just sold. As I said, everything needs to be automated. We give that to you. Everything needs to be lead gen. Like we give that to you. It's essentially letting people know that you're the market expert. So as you can see here, here's an example of one of our automated just listed cards. Those get fired out into we'll just say 100 homes in that area. Because we have all the technology behind it, we're able to make sure that they only go to residences, and that the home values are going to be within the same variance of it. So if there is a border between a $1 million home and a $500,000 home, we're only going to send to other $500,000 homes. So we have that automated targeting just kind of baked into it. But again, all of this is not promoting your home. So primarily with, I can assume what everybody's markets are, there's an inventory shortage, and there has been for quite some time. It looks like there's going to be for quite some time. So don't look at whether you're doing just listed or just sold as promoting that listing. What you're doing is you're promoting yourself. You're establishing yourself as the local expert, because the turnaround time, these are first class postage. By the time you order, they're going to be in your market from 4 to 7 days. So people are moving properties way faster than that. So what it's going to do is it's going to let everybody know, this is my listing, or I just sold this house. Yes, in times of uncertainty, in times of people could be a little bit scared whenever it comes to buying or selling their property. You're able to say, things are happening. I can be your Sherpa through this real estate obstacle course. So you're selling yourself, not the home.
Nice.
Yeah, and as you can see here, this is just an example of one of the, like a property listing page. We'll have some sales data in there, and we'll have sales trends in their area. But again, we're going to pull in everything from the MLS. This is all baked in to your just listed and just sold. That's going to be 73 cents a card, or excuse me, 74 cents a card after the first of the year, because they like to make the postage go up. But yeah, so you're getting a whole lot of data and a whole lot of lead gen for a relatively low cost. Yeah. And so just go ahead and keep that in mind whenever you're thinking of all your marketing operations. Lead gen is important. You're selling yourself, and definitely automated solutions gives you the opportunity to focus on building your business, growing your business, instead of sitting at your computer figuring out PDFs and creative work and stuff like that.
You said from like start of the order to getting it out there and hitting mailboxes, it's like 4 to 6 days. Is that right?
4 to 7 days. So the just listed
okay.
and just sold are first class. So yeah, we're able to, QuantumDigital's facility is right down the street from the USPS regional hub. And because we've been in the business for so long, we have our shipping standards are well above what the postal systems is. So we have an in-house sorter that already puts it in. Basically everything gets put on a USPS pallet. So we do about 5 days worth of work for them in that 24-hour period that you order. So let's say if you click order now in your email, if you do it before 4 p.m., you're going to have your card go out that same day.
Oh, wow.
So I mean, we have it down to a science, and so that's how we're able to facilitate all this for you, because everything comes out like basically with the job done for the USPS. All they got to do is throw it on the truck and get it to your next regional hub. So segueing from that into farming, this would be standard mail, because this is going to be your longer sales cycle. And I know folks that may be new to the business, new to a market or even a region. One thing you have to know about your farming ops is this is the long game. This is your 9 to 18 month sales cycle. This is going to fit into what your touch count for whatever school of thought you follow, whether it be 15 touches or 20 touches, 36 touches, until you get that person to that contract level of your sales funnel. So keep in mind that you're not supposed to send 1 month out and expect people to contact you for their listings. I mean, that's casting a very, very small net for a pretty big decision for somebody to make. So whether this be your emails, your phone calls, your letters, your door knocks, I mean, this doesn't need to be all you do, absolutely, but this is going to fit in real nicely once a month, every other month, once a quarter, whatever that frequency is. You're able to have this work in tandem with all of your marketing functions. And still, the lead gen aspect of it, as soon as they use that QR code or hit that URL, we're going to send them to a market snapshot that we create. So the reason that these cards are 83 cents and the just listed and just sold are 73 is we have to pull in this data in real time. So as soon as I scan this card, it's going to show the market data for North Austin and what homes are selling for pretty much on the spot. So that extra 10 cents per card gets baked in there for all of this data. But what we're able to do as well is, if you look at this, this card here on the bottom right, we're able to pull in sold data from any user, any address in the US and populate it on a card, so that if you wanted to send out what we call our market report card, it's going to get to me and it's going to have up-to-date sales data of all homes within a 2-mile radius of my house that have sold in the past 90 days. So we really promote this card during these times, because a lot of people don't know that real estate is still a thing that's happening. So you just need to have somebody guide you through that. And this is a really great way for you to basically say, here's 20 other homes, or 5 other homes, or 2 other homes that have sold in your area. And that lets people know that, oh, wow, I don't have to wait until things go back to the way they were in January. I can actually upgrade my home now.
Yeah, that was kind of an interesting thing. I think you might touch on it on the COVID part, but when this started, everybody hit the brakes on their listings, and then the value of houses just went skyrocketing. And now everybody's starting to realize, oh, actually my house is super valuable right now. I should be listing it.
Right. And one thing I want to touch on is this high listing, low competition area. Whenever you're doing your research to figure out what the perfect neighborhood for you to farm is, I know we all want to be on $1 million listing on the e-channel, just being the go-to person for $1 million homes and above. But that's going to be such a saturated market. Everybody is going to be trying to get in there. What we suggest is a 25% neighborhood. And what that is you're able to get in, be the market expert, be the name for a neighborhood, and 25% of those listings go to you or your team. So are you able to do that? Yes, but you just need to do a little bit of research on which neighborhood is going to be best for you. If you look up and see 10 homes sold in the neighborhood that you live in, but it was 10 different brokerages or 5 other brokerages, there's you do the math there, it's either going to be a 10 or 20% market share for each of those. Are you going to be able to kind of come in and carve your way in there? Yes, but you're going to have to do it intelligently, you're going to have to do it diligently, and you're going to have to be in mailboxes and inboxes just about every single month or a couple times a month.
To the nail, yeah.
So,
cool.
And now whenever it could be 50-50 on if agents are operating in neighborhoods or not. If you're hunkering down and waiting for everything to get back to normal like it was last year, there's going to be folks out there that are making a huge grab for your market share. So now is the time, if any time, to get yourself out there and get your face in front of those folks. I know we're pushing time a little bit, so I'm just going to kind of breeze through this anatomy of the card. This is just kind of the reason we do what we do. Everything has been A/B tested to the moon and back. But what we offer is, that data-driven personalization. Card comes to my house, it's going to say, Matt. We always have limited information on the card, because we entice that user to scan that code to get that lead to you, the agent, and for them to hit those digital assets. Everything is going to be have familiarity and brand consistency across the board with everything you do. We have a dashboard that you're able to see all of your creative, all of your leads, all of your impressions, all of your spend. It's going to calculate your ROI. Like, everything is very data centric. If you don't care about the data, you just want to have your marketing operations out there, then that's why we have the one click from the email and you don't have to worry about it. But we do give you that data centric view of everything you're doing.
Cool.
And of course, we had to put something about COVID in there. But what we're advising, this is for entertainment purposes only, is your market best. The ins and outs of what people in the community are feeling. So what we're saying is provide value, provide a meaningful message. You can't come off you can't hit the ground sprinting with a sales call. if you don't have some type of meaningful message or providing some value to them. So that's kind of what you've heard me say throughout here, to be a guide through real estate operations amid social distancing. I'll help you e-file. We can do virtual meetings. I mean, you're going to provide yourself as that expert because I guarantee you there's a ton of people that just think no real estate is moving right now. And you're going to be the one that says, hey, we're still doing things. Let me help you out. Obviously mindful of the current economic climate, and then just plan to come out stronger. You're going to be smarter. You're going to have these trials and tribulations. So you're going to definitely be able to hit the ground running even faster once the more normal we get back to. And then, as I said a little bit for farming, I mean, continue gaining that market share. Now's the time to do it. And we don't want to see folks come out on the other end and say, you know, wow, there's been people that have really been hustling out here for the past year, and I'm going to have to play a lot of catch up.
Yeah, you mentioned that, you know, there's a lot of people who think that with everything going on, things have kind of paused for real estate, and that's kind of one of the reasons the listings, you know, there's such a shortage of inventory. But I think kind of what you touched on, a lot of agents that think that things have kind of paused and slowed down and they're taking a breather. And that means that there is a lot of market share open to grab right now if you're doing this work. So I think that's a great point. Cool. Let's see here. Before we hit the key takeaways, we're going to answer a couple questions here. I got one. Does it work in Canada, the MLS prices in US dollars? Are you guys international, or is this going to be a US thing?
We are able to ship to Canada, but the just listed and just sold automated program does not, because consumer protection laws it makes it difficult for us to get lists, essentially. So primarily, no. And I apologize.
No, not. And then similar, maybe also consumer protection thing. Tom was asking the sales data in Texas. I think because of for the market report, Texas is a non-disclosure state. Are you still able to pull that and send that out, or?
Yes. So whenever I say sold data, and I think he's talking about the card where we have the sold homes on that real-time map. We don't put the home sale price on there. We're able to pinpoint the location and say that it was sold. So that's kind of how we still fall within those legal parameters. And we do that with every state that's a non-disclosure state.
Okay. So there's also a question about that in Canada. So it's probably, I guess the just listed thing isn't in Canada. Can one side of the card be about fun facts of the neighborhood in order to build rapport?
Yes. So within our farming program, we give you almost 20 different series, 12-month series, and all of that is editable. If you want to change the photo on the front, on the back, if you want to put fun facts of the neighborhood, if you want to you can build out whatever you want. You can get as customized as you want. We just provide you with that good foundation of, almost 20 different series. But yes, that's the long answer to your short question. Yes, you can.
Pretty customizable. If you want to build out 10 kind of personal ideas about the neighborhood you want to share, you can just toss it on there for sure. Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
And then Jose was actually on the farming cards. Do you guys filter out homes that were just bought, or do you just send it to everybody for those farming?
So whenever you set up your geographic area, you can apply demographic filters, people that have been in their home for 5 to 10 years, or 0 to 5. You can get pretty granular in there. But yes, you're able to filter them out.
Awesome. The last question we have here is please show how this connects. So we're going to show that in just a minute. We're going to do these key takeaways, and then we're going to show you how to connect LionDesk.
All right. Just like we touched on things I've said a few times before, everybody should be constantly prospecting, marketing, and networking. Now's the time to gain that market share. I mean, even whenever things resemble normalcy, you should always be farming. Just because you have a good salary, you don't step over $100 bill on the street. Like every single person that you meet, that's somebody that's being thrown into your funnel. You're able to always think about that funnel. Think about ways that you could shorten it. Think about ways that you could widen it. Always look at your ROI. Make sure that you're spending your money intelligently. somebody like QuantumDigital, it's no startup fees, no cancellation fees. You're only paying for the cards that go out, and we're able to keep your ROI pretty fantastic. Also, just be able to provide that good information to anybody that asks you about what's going on in the market. You being a market expert is going to do great things for your business, and also just adding direct mail easily to that media mix and your marketing options. I mean, we're a very simple, very fast, very targeted, and very automated program to use. And yeah, we're here to help you. I'll just kind of skip over those terms. But any questions that y'all have, that's our customer support team. We got folks working from home, manning the phones, setting people's accounts up, answering questions. They're all subject matter experts. And we are also, for the next 8 days, we are offering 20% off your entire farming campaign. All right, Gabe, I think you might be muted.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just talking to myself. No, that's awesome. My dog was barking, and the trout. Anyway, yeah, no, that's awesome. That's so. This is the time. 20% off. Give this a shot. You're gonna see these leads pour in, and you're gonna start closing. Closing the leak on that bucket of building your leads as you follow up with them and get in front of them with this direct mail. And direct mail. You could probably talk about this more, Matt, but direct mail. It's really kind of having a moment now because email is ubiquitous for the last 20 years to the point where people are now regularly abandoning their email address because it's just so full of spam. I know a ton of people who just totally jettisoned it and then they move on to a fresh email because they just have to start over. So, build that email list for sure. But there's a good chance a lot of people are just going to, move on to a new email pretty soon. Whereas the home is a physical location. This is a physical card. I check my mail every day. I go through everything. I look at it. It's a really interesting alternative complement to the rest of your marketing for sure.
Absolutely, and think of it as a guaranteed impression. You fire out Facebook ad. They're going to say, of course, it hit. Your 1,200 screens, your 10,000 screens, whatever it is. But this is guaranteed, tangible, something that's in front of someone. But also, direct mail, especially targeted direct mail, has one of the highest engagement rates across the entire robust media mix. I think the only thing that has a higher, because we're at anywhere from 3 to 5%, depending on what the market is. I think the latest numbers on email is that it's 0.05 or 0.03, something astronomically lower. The only thing that has a little bit higher engagement rate is hyper-targeted Facebook ads, and that's kind of as expected. So it has one of the highest engagement rates across all media channels. So that's where we get away with giving you that 10x, anywhere 5, 10, or 15, 20x ROI on your campaigns because, like I said, you spend $800 or $500 to $800 on farming throughout the year, and you get one listing. I mean, that's going to pay for itself, 5 to 10 times over.
Definitely, yeah. The ROI is so good. All right, and so yeah, go ahead.
I would imagine it would be something that every agent would want to have in their budget, because we all have kind of gotten to digital and have some other form of marketing go out there. Just write it into your budget every year and continue to keep that in. I remember I had a client once, and after she got 3 of my postcards, finally she called. She said, "Girlie, you're busy. You need to come see me." So people save these, and it's something you just don't think about, but they do, and they actually do work.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Calendars, event calendars for neighborhoods. Let's see. We have a variety of series that have recipes, home improvement tips, how to boost your home value. That we got a ton of stuff, and then we also have some really beautiful photography on the travel the world. If you're looking to downgrade or upgrade, Here's a view of the Moroccan sand dunes that you can go visit in celebration whenever I sell your home. Or, there's a lot of different options out there. But yeah, we try to make it as easy as possible, but also provide just the absolute best value for you whenever it comes to spending your money intelligently.
Cool. All right. Well, let me show you. You guys are all using LionDesk, so let me show you exactly how to set this up so that you can use those LionDesk contacts. They'll be in QuantumDigital, meet you there, and you can start sending out cards to those people. Easy peasy. So, you guys, let me double check. Can you guys see the LionDesk screen here?
We can.
Perfect. Cool. So this is our LionDesk. We've been doing hard work. We got 181 contacts in here, and they are ready to go. And so if I wanted to go ahead and connect LionDesk to QuantumDigital, like I said, you can go to the LionDesk Marketplace. This integration is so new, it's not quite up there yet. So I'm actually just going to go to apination.com. And that's going to take you to where we are, and we connect these two apps. So you can click apps and syncs, or you can click discover connections, either way. And this has all the apps we integrate for real estate agents around the continent. So I'm going to find LionDesk. Here we go. They're alphabetical. And you can also kind of peruse them by function. So if you're looking for transaction managers, here's the ones we have there for you. For brokerage support systems, just kind of admin stuff, Google Sheets, Dropbox, Gmail, that kind of stuff. But we're going to go with LionDesk, and that is our CRM, our customer relationship. So we're going to go there. And this is all the integrations we've built out for you. So if you see something that you currently use with LionDesk and it's not connected, you're kind of wasting time. You need to connect it so that you don't have to enter stuff in twice. So we're going to show you how to do that with QuantumDigital right now. So we're going to click LionDesk, click QuantumDigital, and it brings you to this template. And the template is basically just a connection we've already 98% configured for you. There's going to be like 1 or 2 questions at the end. So you can just basically copy off the work we've done creating this connection. So I'm going to show you this template. To use a template, it's really easy. You're just going to click this button that says connect to LionDesk. It's going to take me over to LionDesk, and connecting to LionDesk is basically just signing into LionDesk. So it's going to take me to this page. Oh, it looks like I'm already signed into LionDesk. So it's going to ask me to sign into LionDesk, and then it's going to ask me to connect to QuantumDigital, which is just type in the email address for your QuantumDigital account. And the QuantumDigital accounts they're totally free. You just hop in there and you can sign up for them there. And then once you do that, type in that email address. And like I said, like 98% of this is done. So we hit that button, we connected them both. And this is the question. So in this question, you may not even have to bother with this, depending on what your strategy is here. But by default, we set this up for you so that you can send everybody from LionDesk into a list in QuantumDigital so that they're all there. And you can absolutely do that. If you want to get a little ambitious, then you can go ahead and filter this out a little bit. So let's say only non-client. Maybe I want to create a whole list of people who aren't my clients and kind of send them, something to get them to become clients, or maybe they're agents or something, or closed inactive. So people I've done business with in the past. That way I can send them a series that's relevant to them. But if you want to create a single list for everybody, just leave it with all. And you can kind of explore these things also if you're using the hotness in LionDesk and you want to sort by that. If you want to only send emails out to people who came from Facebook or people leads you bought from Zillow or Realtor.com, absolutely. Just go ahead and select that and create a list. And you can create this integration, this whole thing, this little automation that sends people from LionDesk to QuantumDigital. You can create as many of these as you want. So you can create, you can have this send over a list of all, and then you can have a second one send over a list of just closed leads, and then you can have another one send over a list of maybe you've been tagging people as FSBO. You can have that sent over, and then you can have a FSBO lead list. So yeah, you can do this as many times as you want. But like I said, if you want to get started, just go with all. Send them all there. And I'm going to save this, and then I'm just going to call this LionDesk contacts. Cool. So those are basically the two questions: is who do you want to send from LionDesk in this automation, and what do you want to call that list? I'm sending everybody, so I'm going to call it LionDesk contacts. If you were just sending FSBOs, I'd maybe call it LionDesk FSBO contacts or something. And then the last thing is the mapping. We do this automatically for you. There's like a slight chance maybe you're doing something really interesting with your LionDesk and you're using these fields a little bit differently that you might want to change something. But I would say 99.999% of you just want to use it this way. So that looks all good. You've answered those two questions. You just hit start. If this is your first integration with API Nation, a little box is going to pop up to get your credit card so that we can open that API Nation account. And like I said, this one is totally free. It's just kind of like when you get a free app from the App Store, the iPhone App Store. They ask your credit card that way. As you continue to add integrations, you can save time and just turn them on. You don't have to keep going back and finding out, how do I pay? What's going on here? So we just do it that once, and then you're off and running. So this is it. This is up. This is running. And let me kind of show you where it's going to go. And these guys will all go into QuantumDigital and create a list. And you'll see here, this went into my, here's all the lists we have in our kind of our demo account here. My save list, contact list. And these people we can all just use in a variety of ways. So just correct either direct mail, auto mail, and hit start, and you're off and running. So that's it, man. Yep. Was there anything to add?
Gabe and Matt, we're getting some questions on how to connect or contact QuantumDigital to get and start their account there, because that's a important piece. Is you want to get a QuantumDigital account, connect the two with the integration, and then you're off and running.
Yeah, let's do that. Let me kind of show you. Here's the QuantumDigital website, and then to get that account, you just click here, get your account. And like I said, super easy. Just sign up. I'm just going to ask you a few questions, and this is basically it. You can add your image. That way you can have your face on all these cards automatically. You can add your logo. That way that stuff gets populated automatically. But yeah, that was it. So just go to quantumdigital.com, and we will include the link to, I see Leslie Ann has been great about putting these links in as we go along. We're going to include the link to turn on this integration, and then also the link to QuantumDigital to create your account, so that that'll be there to meet you when you get there.
Also, we have, as I said, our customer support folks. You can give them a call if you want to have them completely set everything up for you, whether it be your account or get you up and running with the farming campaign. I mean, they love helping people get marketing out there. So you can give them a call, at any time during the day.
Sweet. Yeah, there's the phone number. So you just go to contact, and then you can kind of see this phone number there and give them a call, and you get a live person, which is sweet. You don't have to kind of fuss with a lot of emails back and forth between agents. So cool. Is there any more questions? I got a few more questions here. Kelly is asking, can we have the QR code lead to a page that has kind of the fun info, the fun facts, or does it have to point to, especially if they don't have a listing to point it at? Can we have the page do that, or the QR code do that?
Yes. Whenever you're setting up your auto mail campaign, or that farming prospecting campaign, it's a 4-step process, and I believe it's on step 2. It'll say, do you want to redirect to a different URL? And it'll you can just drop in your URL there. You'll still get that lead gen. You'll still get that email. It's just it won't go to our market snapshot that we provide for the user. It'll go to mattkemp.com/listings.
Sweet, cool. And then, do you have messaging for distressed properties like pre-foreclosure, tax delinquent, divorce, anything like that?
I don't believe we have that within our search parameters as far as whenever it comes to geo-targeting. But if you were able to provide that list for us, we would be able to mail to that. But that would actually give our customer support a call on that one, because I'm not quite sure.
Yeah. And it's kind of just the messaging. So, and you can put whatever you want on the cards. So if you create a list of, pre-foreclosure, tax delinquent, or divorce, you can go ahead and make a targeted messages for that list that you sent over. And
Absolutely.
An easy way to do that would just be to tag them in LionDesk as distressed, and then have that synced over as a list of distressed properties, and then you could create that custom card to send out to them pretty easily. Let's see. And then Kelly's asking, do I understand the QuantumDigital offers the mailers plus at no charge plus some online marketing? Yeah, I think the website and all that kind of nice stuff that it points to, the QR code and all that stuff points to, that's all just baked in, right?
Yes, that is correct. It's no extra cost outside of the cost per card. So that's what we call it is a complete just listed or just sold system. So you get the lead gen, you get the digital assets, the online assets, and you're going to get those cards fired out, and it's all baked into the price of the card. So we really pride ourselves on no hidden fees, no extra fees, no cancellation fees. Like, you're only paying for the stuff that you send out when you send it.
Perfect. Cool. This has been great. The last question I saw in here was from Vilma. Do you have any special deals for brokers with a team of 10 or more agents? You got that 20% off. That's a pretty sweet way to get started.
That's a deal right there.
Yeah.
But yes, we are running a variety of promos throughout the year. But the reason that we're able to provide all of this lead gen and digital assets is because we are a full digital printer. So we're able to give even the individual agent that enterprise level pricing. So we feel like what we're able to do is help the individual agent compete with the $1 million marketing campaigns by still having data-driven, very targeted, and lead gen assets out there in market.
Makes a lot of sense. Great. And let's see here. I think that is all the questions. Leslie Ann, did I miss any in the chat? There's quite a bit going on in there.
I think we're good. Yeah, everyone's been really generous with their feedback and questions. So thanks.
Sweet. Looks like a couple last minute questions have come in. How do I go about signing up for the team? Do they all need to sign up individually? I guess that's kind of up to how you want to run it. Is that right? So if I was a team lead, can I set up an account on QuantumDigital to kind of run for all my 9 members, or should they each sign up a QuantumDigital account, do you think?
So that'd be a question. You'd have to call into our customer support, because you could basically set up as an admin for other people. But I think it'd be easier. Like, we have team templates and things like that, but also everything's so editable. You could put, your team message, your team logo, like whatever the case may be there. But depending on the scale, it might just be easier for everybody to set their own up whenever it comes to farming, because that lead gen, that email is going to get sent to whoever set it up through that account. Now, the just listed and just sold, that's going to be tied to your MLS email. So it depends. If the team lead has all the MLS filtering through their MLS email, then it'll already be set up that way for you.
Got it. Sweet. It makes a lot of sense. The last question we have, unless you guys go ahead and throw them in as we're finishing up here. Kasia was asking, it just disappeared. Should I upload my farm to QuantumDigital, or should I upload it to LionDesk? I would suggest that you could either do both, or I would suggest you go ahead and upload it to LionDesk and then have this sync kind of send over who you want into QuantumDigital. That way you can continue to do, use LionDesk as your CRM, make sure you're marketing to them in a variety of ways, text, emails, mass emails, phone calls, and then have this sync sent to QuantumDigital so that you can easily send out the direct mail piece to complement all the other stuff you're doing in LionDesk. For sure. Cool. All right. This looks like it's about it. We're going to give it a couple more minutes. But yeah, Leslie Ann, Matt, thanks so much for hopping on today and talking all about direct mail. If people need to contact you, Matt, just go to, or contact QuantumDigital, just go to quantumdigital.com and hit that contact thing up in the top right corner, huh?
That is correct. We believe it is 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Central Time. We will have a team of folks manning the phones. You'll get connected right away, and they'll be able to either answer questions for you, jump in your account, set your account up, set up campaigns for you. I mean, they love helping people out, so they'll be there.
Last question here, and then we're going to close it down. Draga's asking, is there a minimum postcards to be sent monthly?
So what we would advise is, obviously probably between 150 and 250 on the low end. But as far as process-wise for us, for farming, the minimum card number is 25. We wouldn't advise that you only have a 25 card per month farming, just because you're really narrowing that sales funnel at the top end. But if that's what you need to do, then 25 will be the minimum for you.
Sweet. Cool. That sounds great. I think this is it. So thanks a lot, Matt, for your time and kind of showing us around direct mail and showing us how to get started with that. And seems like this is gonna be great. If you have any questions about the integration, let us know. We're going to email out a recording of this tomorrow morning, but right after this webinar, we'll go ahead and email out the links that we talked about, including that coupon code and all that stuff. So yeah, thanks again. And if you guys have any questions, let us know. Leslie Ann,
Thank you,
Matt.
Matt. Thank you, everybody.
Hey, thank you all.
Take care.
Have a great
day.
afternoon.